What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about pajamas today. Yes, we are. We're sitting at about 2 cents right now. We've had a little bit of a drop. I think this is prime time to get in, and I do think that we've actually found our low today. I was saying that we could go down at this area a couple days ago, and I think that we might actually have found the low with today's low. You guys hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. It's very much appreciated. Every single person that's here who's watching the channel, thank you very much. From the previous all-time high to this low of this consolidation phase here, you can see this line goes straight across. We're actually tipping that previous all-time high as support. Yes, we've broken below it a couple times. We held it here, and that's kind of actually another thing to note is we actually have held this line as support a couple times, even though, yes, we broke through it here. We really could be having our low right there. The only reason I think that we could go lower really is that this relative low to high here, the 618, is a little bit lower than that, so that does leave the gate open to going down just a little bit more. As long as we're not going below this 886 or really to it, I think I'm okay with that, because this structure right here, where you break out of a consolidation phase, you move up. We reached for the 1272. Ideally, you would actually get into this zone between the 1272 to the 1618. Now, we haven't done that, but what you did do is you pulled back to your 886 and you found a double bottom. You've shown nice support. So this is actually a really good look. It'll be a better look if we can find support here, showing constructive behavior on the fibs, as in going from one level as an area of support to the next level as an area of support, and then the next one, and then that's constructive behavior. It doesn't have to be a straight line over time. Stair stepping is nice to see in fibs. All right, so not only that, but you also actually found support right here, literally tipped it very similar right here on this previous high. You're doing a very similar thing right now, and then corresponding with the fibs. This is a nice setup. That very well could be the low. I want to look at the RSI to kind of get a better idea. But I like this look right now. As long as we're holding this line, I really like this look. Again, if we were to break it, if it was to go, the price were to go a little bit lower, that's okay. Even if we went back to the 886, it's okay. I would just prefer the more discernible that this higher low is, the better, in my opinion. And if we wick below this line and then come back and close above that, that's ideal. That'd be great. I mean, even if I guess we didn't wick below the line, that would be more ideal, right? But as long as we're closing above this 100 line, that is very ideal. That would give us the target area of the 1272 to the 1618, but I'm going to kind of nix the 1272 here. I'm going to say no go on that. I think we're actually looking for the 1414 to the 1618 because we already got so close to the 1272. I doubt if we break this range, unless it's a fake out, in which case that'd be really bad, but it can happen. If that is a fake out, we won't be able to sell at the higher prices that we wanted, but if you bought pajamas whenever I did, we're still in a decent area of profit, and we might not get more gains, but we can still sell in the green, which overall, if you're doing that, you can't be upset if you're making money. But again, being that we got really close to this 1272 and rejected it, I would assume that when we break this range, we would continue past that and at least go to the 1414, which is at about 6.2 cents. From a current price of about 2 cents, that's a nice, is that a 3x? Yeah, it's a 3x. And potentially all the way up to the 1618. Now, what I like about the 1618 is if we take this here, and we assume this to be some kind of bull flag or something, I don't know, maybe we do a mimicked move from before. This happens all the time. Perhaps this is actually the breakout and we're in the middle of our up move now. I don't know. But when we break this zone, I suppose we would break it from here. That would take us right up to the 1618. If we consider this the breakout, from the low point, kind of how this move here was from, it wasn't from the height of the consolidation phase, the way that I measured that move, if anybody's confused. I measured this move here where it kind of broke out of this consolidation phase. This arguably could be an entire consolidation phase itself, and in which case this mimicked move, I mean, maybe it would be greater in overall growth, but I don't think that's the case. I actually feel like this makes more sense to me, lining it up with this low, treating this as the flag to this bull pull, and potentially we're getting the breakout move right now. We broke out, back testing for support, and then seeing the rest of it come through. It's not uncommon to see the first leg be strong and then the second leg up be a little bit weaker, so it might take more time, and that's okay. All in all, though, lining it up with that does line up with the 1618 pretty well. So I just want to say 6.2 cents is the minimum expected target for me personally. I do expect that we will see 6.2 cents, but I have genuine hopes, I don't know what other word to use other than hope. Something better than hope, man. Beliefs doesn't seem to do it right either. I do genuinely think that we could see 11 cents or higher on this coin during this move before we see another consolidation phase like this or like this, right? That's a pretty big range. 6.2 cents to 11 cents, that's a pretty big range. But 3x to, I mean, what would essentially be, is that a 5x? A little, almost a 6x? That's nice. That's a good window of opportunity right there. And being that we've just had a pullback, you've pulled back from your recent high that you were consolidating at for quite a while, about technically your all-time high area. You pulled back about 40%, 41%. That is a nice discount to get in. This is a low cap coin, you guys. This is a very low cap coin. Actually, let's look at it here. Pajamas. $20 million, right? Very low indeed in market cap. So don't bet the farm on this. It can see good growth, but it could also go down. You know, I've been saying over the past couple videos that if we were to go down, that's okay. That just means that these highs are put off until a later date, and we could go lower than the current low. You know, we could go to that 886, we could go to the 786, we could go even lower than that. You know, anything and everything in between is possible. Even, you know, a low down here kind of looks nice on this overall like trajectory up. Maybe not that low, but still it kind of fits. So if that happens, there's no need to panic. But again, might be a reason not to throw the whole bag at it. Just some, you know, fun money. If you're looking, if you have funds set aside for memes, this might be a good coin for you to get into. Maybe not. You know, look into it yourself. I would recommend going on x.com. Come on now, and then looking up Stephen Chen's or Steve. Maybe not Steven. I don't know. I don't know him. Maybe he says Steve. I'm going to call him Steve. He promotes pajamas. He is the co-founder of YouTube. You know, you can go through and just go through his whole feed. He's like Elon Musk for pajamas this cycle. So he's a pretty big deal. I think he might not have as much clout as Elon Musk, but he's still a big deal. He owns some pajamas himself, and I think that he's got a lot of hopes for pajamas as well. He's said word for word that this is the most excited that he's been about anything since he started YouTube. So I could imagine he's going to have a hands-on kind of approach with this thing. He's probably going to be personally involved. I don't know personally. These are all assumptions. If you can figure that out, if that's true or not, you know, look that up for yourself. But he actually has the non-assumption is that he did say that this is the most excited he's been about a project since he founded YouTube. So that, I don't know, that to me gets me a little bit excited. I do think that this thing, even if it doesn't change the world, even if, you know, I know on his, I keep flipping between things here, on his x.com, there's a couple places where he says pajamas will be used around the world. I don't know if it ever will. You know, truthfully, I don't know if I would bet that most cryptos won't. But, you know, if you're pro any coin, you're going to say that kind of stuff. And nonetheless, a $20 million market cap is pretty low. That does leave a lot of room to grow. There are coins that have less going for them, right? This thing's available on BitNational. I think that's what the website is. And I talked about this last time, but this is for anybody who might be finding your way to pajamas first. This is your first video finding. I can't talk today, guys. I don't know what it is, but I feel great. I just, for some reason, can't talk. BitNational, 300 plus Bitcoin ATMs across Canada. They are a Canadian business. They have 300 plus Bitcoin ATMs. I would assume maybe they would like to venture out elsewhere. Maybe they just like Canada. I don't know. But if you scroll down, the first thing that you see is it's cat season. So they have pajamas available on their ATMs. And they are advertised on this relatively large company. I think 300 ATMs, 300 plus ATMs is pretty impressive. So there's some money involved with that. You've got the co-founder of YouTube who's involved with it as well, and then just the regular degens in the crypto space hyping this thing up as well. I could see this thing being worth, I mean, from a current valuation, it's at 20 million, right? 20.5 million. I think we could see 200 million easy, right? That's a 10x, and that wouldn't take much time to achieve, right? I would expect that to happen sometime this year. So if that sounds good to you, might be a good price to get in. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I genuinely, every time I have a little bit of extra cash left over, I kind of hold myself back from throwing more money into this thing because it's a meme coin. Again, back to the main point that don't throw the farm at this. Don't bet the bank, because there are other prospects that have just as much potential or more potential, and they're not just meme coins. You know, not that a meme coin should be belittled. Meme coins have definitely earned their stripes last cycle and this cycle, but I don't think it's wise to put all of your eggs in one basket, especially if that basket is woven with meme coin thread. But it might be, I don't know. Maybe that's not the right choice of words. It might be the wisest thing, because I would say the wisest thing would be what gets you the most money in the shortest amount of time. But is it the safest thing? And I would feel like it can be wise to be safe, but sometimes the wisest thing is not the safest thing, if that makes sense. Not always is the wisest thing the safest thing. So anyways, man, I'm getting caught up in the philosophy here. All I'm trying to say is I think this is a good price to get in. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I literally have to hold myself back from putting some funds that I do want to put into the markets, but not into this, because I think this is a right price. If we can hold this line, that'd be ideal, because that would likely mean that very soon on this next attempt up here, we've already had 1, 2, 3 attempts, of which we hugged last time. It's just a matter of time before this line gives. The more interactions we have with it, the more likely it is to break. So showing constructive behavior on the fibs, having our fourth interaction more or less with this area, I would expect that we do break out. And if we break out, I don't think that we're going to stop here. I don't think we're just going to break out for a small move like that. I would expect it to be rather large. Perhaps there's going to be some big news coming out. I don't know. You know, with this pump, there was some big news that came out. So they often say, and I say they, I mean technical analysts say, show me the charts and I'll tell you the news. Well, I'm showing you the charts and I'm telling you the news right now. I would expect that within the month of June, if not sometime by the end of this month even, there will be some big news for pajamas. And if not, nonetheless, I still believe that we're going to move up at least to 6.2 cents, if not around 11 cents or higher soon. You know, maybe by the end of June, if not sometime in July. I don't know. This thing likes to move fast whenever it moves. Let's look at the RSI. RSI on the daily is not looking too hot, in my opinion. It is relatively neutral. We are showing neutrality in the price as well, but it's not looking too hot. Let's look at the 4 hour, because this is it's a pretty new RSI. Yeah, the 4 hour looks sad. It kind of would suggest that we'd go lower. On the bright side, we do have some bullish divergence forming, where you have a higher low here and you have a lower low there, but we do have 30 minutes left in this 4 hour candle. So depending on where that closed, that'll be, you know, if we have that divergence available. If we go lower, this RSI could go lower and that divergence goes away. That divergence is presented, but it's not confirmed until we get a green candle, preferably 2 green candles to close. So hopefully, if we get another red candle, it's just a little bit lower, maybe not even lower than this low, but lower than the closing price. And if we get some green candles, that could mark a potential low in this 4 hour RSI, because we are near the oversold zone. We have been in this downtrend for a second. If and when we find a bounce and we break out of this, that could gear us up. That could be the fire that is lit to send us back up to these areas, of which, again, we've already interacted with 3 separate times. Arguably more than that. We kind of hovered in this for several days. We had like 4 different interactions with this level in a 4-day span, but really 1, 2, 3 is how I'm counting it. So if the 4 hour RSI breaks bullishly, that could also do good things for the daily RSI. We'd get back above the 50. We'd have a higher low here. I don't know. There'd be a lot of good things going for it. And then just breaking out of this consolidation phase in itself. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else I want to say. So look for that. If we do break this line, it's okay. The line that I would not like to see us break really would be this line, right? If we break like 1.5 cents, then I would be a little bit scared for pajamas in the short term. That would make me think that we probably go, and dude, I didn't even see this, but that would make me think that we would go to 1 cent or lower, and probably the or lower. But look at this. I didn't even measure this one yet, man. This fib. There are so many different fibs. Feel free to draw all of them, man, because you can get different perspectives. Relative low to high, it's very common and often, I would just say it's a common thing to find support on the 382, specifically the 382, when you have a strong move, whenever you're in the middle of a strong move, in the presence of a strong move, of which I would say that's a pretty strong move, right? You went from, I mean, how much growth was that? From April 12th to April 27th, in less than a month's time, you saw a 13x. That's a pretty strong move. Holding at the 382, it's a classic maneuver to do. Not only that, but when you're looking to break out to new highs, it's 382, 236 support, and then up, stair stepping. You like to see that. So as long as it would be very ideal if we hold this line. I like the way it looks right now. I would still like it even if we went a little bit lower. We still have the higher low, you know, especially if we're closing above the 236. But I like the way it is now. Let's hold that line in the sand and just move up from here. That's what I would like to see. Let's start the next couple 4-hour candles this day in specific. Start moving up, you know. Maybe today it closes red, maybe it closes green. I honestly, with the way the 4-hour looks, the potential it has, I would not be surprised. And where we are in the fibs, I wouldn't be surprised if today did close green. We've also got bullish divergence. That might be double bullish divergence on the 1 hour. Let's see. Low here, lower low. So that's 3 lows, 2 lower lows in total, with 1 low here, a higher low, and a higher low. So that, I mean, technically that's 2 lows right there, but we'll just count it as like 1. At least that's how I'm going to interpret it. Interpret it how you want, but that to me is double bullish divergence, at which case we'd be good for at least a move. Or is it? Did we? I don't know. Perhaps it's not. I don't know. I'm still looking at it like that because overall this RSI, that looks like a pretty clean trend in my opinion. And we're bouncing right off the oversold zone. I think we'd be at least good for a move to 2.5 cents, but you know I'm expecting higher than that. So the 1 hour is actually looking good, looking like a good turnaround point. The 4 hour, the door is open to it. It's just not confirmed yet. We don't have closing green candles yet to confirm that. We're not even done with this red candle yet. So when that happens, that'll agree as well, along with the 1 hour, that things are going to move up in the short term, as in today. And then if today can close green, if we can start getting some momentum to the upside, bouncing at this area, this line, that would be very ideal. It would look so great to hold it. We really could, over the coming days, over the coming weeks, be at new all-time highs. So that's all I got to say. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for coming. I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.